You're watching Youth Capital Commentary.
Hi, I'm Nadila Pena with Waipahu Intermediate, and I'm here with...
Representative Corey Chun.
So, Corey, I understand that you're the Committee for Health and Human Services. Could you explain that a little bit more? Oh, sorry. Sorry, my fault.
Okay.
So I understand that you're the Committee of Health and Human Services. Could you explain a little bit more further on that?
Sure. So the Health Committee's purview is all about issues related to health. So we look at things from health issues in schools. We also look at hospitals and medical services, and even things like mental health issues. And the interesting thing about being on the Health Committee is that, you know, we live on Oʻahu, but it's sometimes you have to kind of realize that on the neighbor islands, getting medical services is a lot more difficult because they just don't have the facilities. So trying to make sure that we provide services to the entire state is one of the key things that we look at.
So going back on what you said about, you know, the neighbor islands and, you know, how like they're more, you know, difficult to give like health and services,
Yeah.
Could you like elaborate more on that?
Yes. So one of the big factors is that on some of the smaller neighbor islands like Kauai and Maui, you know, they don't have a really big population. So building, you know, the hospitals to support that, you know, just doesn't make sense because there wouldn't be a lot of patients. But we also want to make sure that they do have access. So how do we do that? Right now, we're looking at trying to get more air ambulance services, because that's one of the key things to get folks to our only trauma center on Oʻahu. And also trying to just figure out ways to attract more doctors to actually practice on the neighbor islands, because as you know, sometimes it takes weeks, months for someone on the neighbor island to actually get an appointment with a doctor or specialist.
So how important is being a Health and Human Services Committee to you?
I think it's really important because really health, you know, without health and without a healthy state, you know, it's hard to thrive, right? Your health is so important. If you're not healthy, you can't work, you can't enjoy life. So trying to make sure that people can stay as healthy for as long as they can without having the need to be in the hospital or be on certain medications is always important for a good quality of life.
Thank you for your time. I'm Nadila Pena, and you're watching Oʻahu Youth Community Capital.
Aloha. I'm Gianna Veidivera, and I'm from Waipahu Intermediate, and here I'm with Miss Miyasaka. So, Miss Miyasaka, how do you serve WIS?
So I'm the school librarian here at Waipahu Intermediate.
Yeah. And do you feel that the library is a safe haven for students?
Yes, absolutely. That's part of my vision and mission for our library, is to make it a really safe place for all students to come in, where everyone is welcome.
Do you enjoy seeing them come in?
Absolutely. I really love seeing all of our students come in during recess, during lunchtime. Students can come in, they can read, they can do their homework, they can color, just relax, and it's great to see everybody in there.
It sounds very peaceful. So, is there any help that you would want from the state, or just any help at all?
When I think about help, I like to think of advocacy in terms of, I just like everyone in the state to kind of understand how important it is for all schools to have libraries and librarians, and that we are kind of part of the school fabric and culture, and that having a well-equipped, staffed school library is a great way to support students.
Thank you for your time. I'm Gianna Veidivera, and you're watching Youth Capital Commentary.
Hello, I'm Zais from Waipahu, and I'm with Keikoa Carvalho. Now, I heard you like to do a lot of drug awareness campaigns, sorry.
Oh.
Which one was your favorite? And why?
Would have to be my drug awareness walk. Walked from Nanakuli to Ala Moana, over 30 miles to bring awareness to the drug abuse in Hawaii. Yeah, that was my favorite one.
I also heard you're at the Open Legislator. What was it about?
I went there to show my law and support to the reps that always come out and support me in my community events. So it was only right, to go back and show some law to them. So I went there to support our reps, our state reps.
Now, what is your most favorite thing about doing these drug awareness campaigns?
Bringing awareness, and speaking to the kids, you guys. I also go to schools, mostly high schools, and I speak to the kids, you guys, and I share my experience from adversity to how I became pure law.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right. I'm Zais from Waipahu, and you're watching Youth Capital Commentary.
Aloha, my name is Liji Taman from Waipahu Intermediate School, and I'm with
Miss Roxanne.
Miss Roxanne. What do you do in this school?
Oh, I'm an educational assistant, so that's an EA. So I help students in classrooms, along with the teacher.
That sounds very delightful of you helping with our teachers and our students. They pretty do have a rough time out there, huh? What is your passion about it?
Oh, my passion is just seeing the joy in the children's faces, especially when they're trying to learn, and then we're there to help them. And that really gives me the joy, because then they get to learn what we're trying to teach them. And that's what I love, that they just learn.
Wow, I wish we have more people like you out there who help our children and teachers. But how did it all start? Who inspired you to be like this?
Who inspired me? I guess Summer Fun. I used to be a junior leader. Well, I used to join Summer Fun. Then all of a sudden, I was too old to be in Summer Fun, so I started being a junior leader, and I just enjoyed just being there, playing with the students. So it's like I'm getting paid, but having fun at the same time, and that's what I look forward to. My job is I get to enjoy what I do and get paid for it. I just love just being with students.
That's really love to hear. But is there a person who you got an inspiration from?
Maybe my elementary teachers, because they were still working when I started working here. And Mrs. Al from August Orange, Miss Bartolome from August Orange. So a lot of teachers from August Orange really inspired me, because that's where I went when I was elementary, and when I first started working for the DOE was at August Orange. So there was a lot of inspiration there.
That's really nice to hear of you. I'm Liji Taman, and you're watching Youth Capital Commentary.
Hi, I'm New Daily Pena from Waipahu Intermediate. I'm here with
Ross Stevenson of the Hawaiian Railway Society.
So Ross, since you work with the Hawaiian Railway Society, how does it feel to work there?
Well, we're a volunteer organization, and we've been running trains in the Ewa Waianae area for about 50 years, and it's wonderful to go ahead and have people understand Hawaii's railroad history. If it weren't for the railroads, the plantations would never have existed. And if the plantations hadn't existed, most of us wouldn't even be here. So you could say that the railroads have had a major effect on Hawaii. And it's just nowadays, it's an exciting thing. We have volunteers doing, for example, woodworking and electronics, welding and other processes. And what we do is we restore the rail cars. For example, we restored the Dillingham parlor car where Queen Liliuokalani and King Kalakaua both rode in. And we go ahead and have excursions 3 days a week into the Kahi Point area, and we invite the public to come and see what train in Hawaii was like and get a better idea of what the plantations and the kinds of communities we had 100, 120 years ago.
So Ross, how important is the railway to you?
I'm a historian and an urban planner, and it's a wonderful fit because I can go ahead and understand the why. Why do we have towns where we have them? Why are they set up the way they are? Does Grandma and Grandpa live in a certain part of the island? All those kinds of things are really reflected in the railroad.
So what were some adversities / challenges you faced during while working at your job?
Well, what we're seeing is much as any other part of the island in Ewa is urbanization. Now, the plantation basically connected the mills, which were isolated villages. Nowadays, the urban carpet is coming to Ewa, and what we need to do is design the road system and all so that the railroad can continue to survive and large numbers of people can move into the area. So it's dependent upon government and private interaction.
Thank you for your time. I'm Nita Pena, and you're watching Youth Capital Commentary. Hi, I'm Neo De La Pena with Waipahu Intermediate, and I'm here with
Christopher Moriel.
So, Christopher, what do you do in our community?
Well, my wife and I, we actually attend Waipahu New Hope Leeward. It's our church over at Waipahu Town Center, and so we're lead ushers actually on Sundays, and so we go there. We have our 8 o'clock, 3 services, and then our ministry is actually the ushers. We go ahead and take care of the ushers. We greet all the people coming in, and we also seat them, just making sure that they're comfortable.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, what do you think about, or what is your experience on being an usher there?
I've been there, actually for about 22 years when it first came to be.
Wow.
It actually came off New Hope Oʻahu, which is with Pastor Wayne. It's just serving the community. A lot of people come there looking for things, and just basically they just make it. It's like another family.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you said you serve the community, right?
Yes.
How does it feel to serve the community? Do you like it?
I do very much. You get to know people, and you get to know, you become family with them, and it's like so you get to learn about them, what they do, what they like, who they are, and at the same time they get to learn who I am.
That's good.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. I'm Neo De La Pena, and I'm with Waipahu Intermediate, and you're watching Youth Community Capital. Hi, I'm Neo De La Pena, and I'm here with
Alvin Legaspi.
So how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
I heard you're working for a nonprofit organization. Could you delve deeper into that for me?
Yeah, so I work for U.S. Vets, and they are the biggest nonprofit that house veterans. And the special part about them, here in Hawaii, they house local families as well.
So how important is that to you?
Very important to me because I do engage in the community myself. For I am a founder of my own nonprofit called Goes Hawaii, and we do engage in the communities with park cleanups. And doing park cleanups, you do deal with houselessness, people in the streets and in the parks, and what the right thing to do is try to help them.
So how did you come up with the idea to do park cleanups?
Park cleanups is a mission that me and my partner Kikopioloa decided to do this year. For last year, we had a mission to go around in all the schools, the public high schools, not only here in Oʻahu, but also Big Island and Maui. And we just share that aloha, the pure aloha.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I'm New Dilipina, and you're watching Youth Capital Commentary. Hi, I'm New Dilipina, and I'm here with...
Retired State Representative Bob McDermott.
I understand that you're a former representative of Hawaii and served for 16 years. What are your current impressions on the current legislative session right now?
Well, Neil, thanks for inviting me here today, and you're doing an excellent job. I want everybody to know Neil's doing a fantastic job. He's a young man here at Waipahu Intermediate, and they're doing great work getting young people like this involved in communications and technology. So your question is, what is my current evaluation of the legislative session now that we're halfway through? I have, in my 16 years I served, starting in 96, and I was in and out and left in 2022, I've never seen such a leftward slant to the legislation introduced. I being honest and truthful. And I think that's because the majority party in power, it is a reaction to President Trump's agenda. So they're making big body, saying, well, we're not going to do that. In fact, we're doubling down. And it's quite sad for me to see.
Could you give me some specific examples on that?
Sure. There's two bills that I find very troubling. One is mandating vaccinations for every student. Now, that's troubling because when I went to school many years ago, I had 3 vaccinations I got. But I took the COVID and I took a booster and everything, but now they're mandating it. And you young people in this generation are going to get 72 different vaccinations by the time you graduate high school. There's never been any studies on how that impacts people. There's never been any deep dive safety protocols. Now, that's not saying all vaccinations are bad, of course not, but we should have informed consent and know what the risks are. So I don't think mandatory vaccinations are the way to go. That's my opinion.
Thank you for your time. I'm Joe Dilipina, and you're watching Youth Capital Commentary.